very much for coming today. My name's Joel Bunch. I'm a librarian here, and just want to welcome you to the library. If you're watching online, thank you for watching. We've got a Mountain Street Stage concert again. We typically do this in June and July every Sunday, and now we're starting to do about one per month. So be looking on our website. We'll do another one in October, about October 16th. We've got a singer-songwriter named Rupert Watts who's going to play. And then in November, we're going to have a bluegrass band from Central Arkansas called the Gravel Yard. All the shows are going to be 2 o'clock, just like today, in the event center, probably be on a Sunday. And then today we have Mr. Dana Cooper. Dana's a singer-songwriter from Nashville. That's where he's located now. Been touring globally for a long time, been writing songs for people you've probably heard of for decades. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Dana Cooper.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, you guys, you doing okay out there? Small but mighty. Old friend of mine, our faces aligned with years of worry and weather. We crossed that line, took that ride, and we always faced the battle together. We done right and we done wrong. Tossed the dice and rang the gong. Always old friends, never let go, friend. Oh, stay with me till the end. Always old friends. Some say you can't make old friends, but you were my friend the moment I met you. And we can't live those old days again. But then why the heck would we want to? How we'd run and how we'd fall. Yes, I remember it all. Always old friend. I won't let go, friend. I'll stay right here till the end. Always old friends. We've known the best and the worst in each other. We blessed and cursed and forgiven each other. It's hard to tell where one begins and the other one ends. Always old friends. Old friend of mine, now it's your time to leave this old world behind you. We'll go on and shine. I'll hold the line, and where the song never ends, I'll find you. I'll be lonesome until then. I will carry you within, and we'll always be old friends. I won't let go, friend. I'll stay right here till the end. Always old friends. Crazy rock and roll friends. Oh, together we can only win. All I know is that we'll meet again. Yes, I'll see you where the song never ends. Always old friends. Thank you. That's off my 30th recording I have with me. It's called I Can Face the Truth. I'm going to do the title song here for you. This old song came to me in a cemetery in Nashville. I was visiting the graves of a couple of my father's heroes, George Jones and Marty Robbins, looking out at the rows and rows of brightly colored plastic flowers stretched out under a hot blue sky. Started thinking about the truth. Don't want the sun to hide behind the cloud. I want to run and never fall down. I'd be number one if I could figure it out. I can face the truth, but please not today. I can face the truth, but please not today. I stood so long, I'd like to sit down. I sing my song, can I take my bow? I can go long, baby, just not right now. I can face the truth, but please not today. I can face the truth, but please not today. I can be a fool, I can be a creep, I can be so cruel, it's a wonder I can sleep. You got your complaints, give it to me straight. But baby, could it wait just one more day? The truth will set me free, the truth will slap my face. Truth is I'm weak, truth is I'm afraid. Afraid of my own life, the damage that I've done. Afraid of what I'm not, what I might become. I can face the truth, please not today. Cut down the flowers, lay them on the grave. Don't count the hours, time will not be saved. I'm not a coward, but I'm tired of being brave. I can face the truth, but please not today. I can face the truth, but please not today. I can face the truth, but please not today. Thank you, thank you. Woohoo! Well, happy Sunday afternoon to you guys. Really appreciate the Fayetteville Library for having us here. This is a wonderful place for community, obviously, and may we always have our public libraries. I just got back from Ireland 2 nights ago, and drove here yesterday from Nashville. Ireland, what an amazing place. I lead tours there every year. I've got one coming up in 2023, actually. April 30th through May 9th. Folks are starting to sign up for it. Take 22 people over there, and we knock around 3 counties for 9 days, 3 days in each county. It's a lot of fun. But every time I go over there, I get at least one song out of it. And this little song came to me years ago in a place called Kilmore Key, a place where apparently the most drownings have occurred off the coast of Ireland, right in that little patch of water in the Irish Sea. 2 beautiful haunting monuments there to all the souls who never came back from the water out there. I was out there on a cold February day by myself, just the seabirds and myself. Very rocky, wild coast, really windy day, so windy I could barely stand up, and the birds were flopping around the sky, trying to act natural, and I just kind of got the giggles at one point. Thinking about all of us in this little shrinking world that are just trying to figure out a way to get along with each other. It's called I'm a Traveler Too. It's a cloudy old day, but the sun's shining in my heart. I got a smile on my face, but the mirror says I'm falling apart. You know, I gave everything away. What else could I do? they're all frayed. I gotta shine on my worn out shoes. Hello, unraveler, I'm unraveling just like you. Hello, traveler, yes, I'm a traveler too. All these folks in a hurry, bouncing down a bumpy road. Man, we all got trouble and worry, following us wherever we go. But when I find myself stranded, broke down and busted flat, some good soul pulls over and reaches out a helping hand. Hello, unraveler, I'm unraveling just like you. Hello, traveler, I'm a traveler too. One act of kindness can make me start to cry, but man, that don't mean I'm blue. Don't know one thing that defines us in this uncertain life is the love that resides inside me and you. I'm a traveler too. Oh, 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 oh. Now the road up ahead, it's shorter than the road behind. There's something to be said right now, would be a real good time. 'Cause ain't this a funny old life, full of wonder, joy and pain? And we all get worried sometimes, just waiting for someone to say, hello, unraveler, I'm unraveling just like you. Hello, traveler, oh, I'm a traveler too. Hello, traveler, yes, I'm a traveler too. Hello, traveler, I'm a traveler. Hello, traveler, I'm a traveler. Hello, traveler, I'm a traveler. Hello, traveler, yes, I'm a traveler too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, fellow travelers. Let's just go around the room, tell us your name, what you do for a living. You all seem so far away out there. I thank Cody here for doing the sound today, too, and it's appreciate it. So I started singing at bars when I was 2 years old. My dad, George, would take me to the Calico Cat or the Steel Mill Bar in Kansas City. He worked at Armco Steel. And he'd play the jukebox and set me up on a bar, up on a table, and get me to sing along with Hank Williams, Ernest Tubb. And those were country artists, by the way. Back when it was called country and western. So you know that was a long time ago. But anyway, I owe a lot to my father, George. He was a very gentle fella, really hard-working guy. He never lifted a hand to me except in kindness, and never, ever. He just had to look disappointed in me, and that was enough to straighten me up usually. And he had plenty of opportunities to be disappointed in me too. But anyway, he before he moved to Kansas City, when I was about 4. We lived out in a place called Latour, little farming community, not much out there. My dad was a tenant farmer for a while when he got out of the 10th Mountain Infantry. He wanted to get away from humanity. So we moved out there. It was a pretty isolated existence. But when I was 3 years old, I guess my dad figured, well, the kid's been singing in bars for a year now. Maybe I should take him to see a professional. So we got on he bought a ticket on a caboose on a freight train, which you could do in that time. And we rode into Kansas City, about 60 miles away, and got off at Union Station, where he showed me the bullet holes in the granite walls there, where Pretty Boy Floyd had a shootout with the FBI back in the 30s. And they're still there, those bullet marks. I could show them to you. We got on a bus and crossed the Missouri River over into Kansas City, Kansas, and went to a place called Memorial Hall. And my dad would get to see me sing a few times later on. It was my first concert. We sat there in the dark and watched Ernest Tubb, the original E.T. And I think I knew that night what I wanted to do the rest of my life. I still want to wear a sequin suit. So this is an old song of Hank's that my dad loved, that I put on the new record in his honor. Hear that lonesome whippoorwill. He sounds too blue to fly. That midnight train is whining low, and I'm so lonesome I could cry. But I never seen a night so long when time goes crawling by. The moon just went behind the cloud to hide his face and cry. Robin weep when leaves began to die. Like me, he's lost the will to live, and I'm so lonesome I could cry. Oh, I could cry. Silence of a falling star lights up the purple sky. And as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I could cry. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Oh, I could cry. I'm so lonesome I could cry. I'm so lonesome I could cry. All right, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Hank Williams, the Hillbilly Shakespeare there. You ever get tired of your own crap? Not to get too personal, just asking. I've lived quite a while now, and I haven't learned very much. Seems the older I get, the less I know, and I think that's perhaps how it's supposed to be. I don't know, but one thing I have learned is that if you're not tired of your own crap, somebody very near at hand is. There goes me, giving in easily, trying too hard to please, soft in the middle, faithlessly, chickening out on me, blaming that big machine, hurdling riddles, frightened and little, standing in my own way. Here am I, questioning where, how, why, watching my life go by. Man, I don't want to blow it. Contrary me, begging to disagree, making mistakes in threes. Yeah, I'm wrong and I know it, too proud to show it. I'm just standing in my own way, standing in my own way. Doomsayer, you're not satisfied grin, out of my way betrayed. Don't be so darn sure you'll win. We are through. I haven't room for two. I'm stepping right over you. Open that front door, 'cause here I come, banging my broken drum, chasing that grinning sun. I'm winning this soul war. There'll be no more standing in my own way. Oh, there will be no more standing in my own way. There goes me, standing in my own way. No more standing in my own way. Ooh, standing in my own way. All righty, thank you, thank you. Well, I'm going to do a song I co-wrote with the fabulous Kim Carnes. I don't know if you remember Kim Carnes. Yay, got a few Kim Carnes fans out there. That's good. She's fabulous, and she's still going strong. This is the first song we wrote together. We had a funny... we met in a funny way. Well, we met a couple of times at a mutual friend's place. A friend of mine named Josh Leo, who grew up in Kansas City, where I did, and right nearby there. And I was at his house, and he was having a little party, and Kim and her husband Dave were out there. I met him a couple of times. She had no real reason to remember me or anything, but, my wife and I were flying out to Los Angeles, and we're in the Nashville airport sitting there in a little waiting room, and Kim and Dave came and sat right across from us, in the little waiting area there, and we kind of nodded to each other. Flew to California. About a week or so later, we were at the airport there in Los Angeles, about to fly home, and Kim and Dave sat right across from us again and kind of gave us a funny look, and we kind of smiled, nodded. Then a couple weeks later, we were walking to a place called Lake Radnor there in Nashville and just walking her dog. And here comes a friend of ours walking along with Kim Carnes by her side. They're out there walking and jogging and stuff. And our friend kind of waves at us as they go by, and Kim Carnes is kind of looking at us through her sunglasses. About a month later, we're at a 4th of July party back out at Josh's house again. And we were walking down the hillside. All these folks were gathered down there, and I start yelling, "Hey, Melinda, Dana, hi." And Kim Carnes breaks out of the circle and comes marching up the hill. She's a little bitty person. She comes, and she's downhill from me. She walks up to me. She looks at me and goes, "Who the hell are you?" So we hit it off right away. Well, not right away, apparently, but it took a while. So we became pals, and it's the first song we wrote. I was thinking about my dad, how hard he worked, and that old-fashioned idea, if you do the right things in life, you work hard and do good works, that good things will come to you. What a funny old idea, huh? If you work hard enough, you might die standing up. Your face to the sun and your mouth full of dust. If you keep moving on, you will never rust. If you work hard enough, when the edges get rough, it's all in the simple stuff. If you work hard enough, if you love big enough, you might die with a smile. The heart of a lion and the soul of a child, and ruby wine will overflow your cup. If you love big enough, when the edges get rough, it's all in the simple stuff. If you love big enough, sing loud enough, your song might be heard. The voice in the crowd with the wings of a bird. Things can change with a word when the times get tough. If you sing loud enough, when the edges get rough, it's all in the simple stuff. If you sing loud enough, if you work hard enough, when the edges get rough, it's all in the simple stuff. If you love big enough, when the edges get rough, it's all in the simple stuff. If you sing loud enough, when the edges get rough, it's all in the simple stuff. If you sing loud enough, if you work hard enough, I die standing up. Enough, 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 enough. All righty, thank you, thank you. Never turn your back on the audience. So my father co-signed for me to get this guitar in 1967. I went out, got a job, and paid it off in 90 days. And been with me ever since. I used to take this guitar down to the Kansas City Love-Ins in the late 60s. I graduated high school in 1969 from Independence, Missouri, St. Mary's High School. There were about 70 of us in the graduating class. A very small school, and we were the kind of school that rarely won a football game or a basketball game. But we tried. And we had the Sisters of Mercy to drive us on. My favorite oxymoron. They did give us a good education, though. They taught us things like, the meaning of oxymoron, for one. We developed a high tolerance for pain, which is coming real handy in the music business. Just in life in general. I gave the good sisters a hard time. Most of them were really nurturing people, and I had two champions there, one who really encouraged me in music and one who encouraged me in art. It got me through the whole mess. But some of them were just sadists. That's all you can say, really. I can't blame them in retrospect. We were a handful, some more than others. But anyway, I would early on I started writing songs, and I threw a cherry bomb on Harry Truman's front porch when I was 13. So I was arrested by the Jackson County Police that night, and my poor father had to get out of work at midnight from the steel mill and come pick me up from the Jackson County Jail. I had to make restitution for the damage I'd done that evening. Fortunate for me, Harry Truman was not home when we did this, and neither was Bess, which is really good. But that was the end of my life of crime, and I just turned completely to music and started going down playing coffee houses in Kansas City and going to the CYO dances, the Catholic Youth Organization dances. I heard some of the best bands I've ever heard in my life at those dances. Learned how to play drums by standing back there and watching the drummers from the side. And occasionally I danced with girls. And I met a girl there at one of the dances called Juanita Cruz. And I'll tell you a little more about her later. But this song is actually about another incident that happened during that time where I was to go to the Kansas City Love-Ins. That probably doesn't sound all that exotic to you here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, but it was a pretty exotic thing going down there from Independence. I get off the bus, and it was like getting off the bus in the middle of New York City or Paris or something. There was just people everywhere, fountains, the University of Missouri, at Volcker Fountain, Volcker Park, they'd have these love-ins on Sunday afternoons, and bands would play down there in the park. So I take this old guitar down there. I get off the bus a few blocks from the Love-In because you didn't want to get off at the Love-In. That wouldn't look real hip. I wanted to come walking across the lawn carrying my Gibson guitar with my imaginary hair blowing in the wind. And I had Catholic hair, so I did buy a peace symbol and some love beads, and I went the extra mile. I went down to Tom McCann and spent $10 on a pair of moccasin boots with fringe around the tops. And I put on that outfit, and I went down there, and I thought it looked like a hippie, but one kid actually asked me one day if I was a narcotics agent, so because it wasn't working too well. But I did meet a girl there. She's sitting on the lawn playing the flute quite well, and I sat down next to her, and I started talking to her, and got my guitar out, and we played some music, and we jammed on Season of the Witch for about 30 minutes. That's what you did that summer. And one thing led to another, and she says, well, I got to go home now. My older sister's getting married this afternoon, and got to go home. And I thought, well, you know, how you getting home? She said, well, I'm just taking a bus home. So, you know, I have an old car my dad bought for me, a 1960 Dodge. Big fins, and it was all primered, and had a push-button transmission and big couch seats. I was hopeful. She says, sure, I'll take a ride. So she gets over here in the big seat next to me and starts directing me through the streets of Kansas City, deeper and deeper into a part of the city I'd rarely been in before, a place called Mission Hills. We pulled up in this giant horseshoe driveway in front of this mansion. It looked like a castle. It actually had a turret on the side of the house. We went inside, and here comes her father walking down the big staircase in his tuxedo and his silver hair, and he looks down at me, and his eyes landed on my moccasin boots, and he kind of sneered, and I knew it was all over. I was a beggar, she was a queen. I played the guitar, she danced and sang, light as a sparrow. She'd lift off the ground, I was a scarecrow. She smiled at my frown, a necklace of clover, a dandelion ring, a flower unfolding, a bird on the wing. I whispered, Jessie, girl, I could love you. And I genuflected and unlaced her shoe. Her auburn hair tumbled all down in my face. We kissed and we fumbled in a clumsy embrace. There for one moment, underneath the green trees, a flower unfolding, a bird on the wing. She lived in a mansion with a prince and a king, and a woman on horseback with a porcelain face. Her servants looked through me. The dog tugged on its chain. Her parents looked sideways. They sneered at my name. Love, when it is new, is a delicate thing. A flower unfolding, a bird on the wing. She cried when I left her. The sky grew blue. Our hearts pressed together as they both broke in two. while a party of sparrows sang a sad, lovely tune. And over my shoulder, the last thing I knew, her face in the window, her hand raised to me, a flower unfolding, bird on the wing, oh, flower unfolding, a bird on the wing. All right, thank you. Bird on the Wing. It's on an old CD of mine called Made in Mud. I have 6 different CDs on the table over there, and I've got T-shirts, and I've got one-of-a-kind vintage Western shirts, some of them from my own closet, embroidered with the Always Old Friends logo. And I've got all my shirts at vintage places, thrift stores. And I go around the country. I thought, well, I might as well start trying to sell some of these things. So you have your own. I've got many sizes over there. Got bandanas, not bandanas, bandanas. I've got, what else do I have over there? No telling. I've got some old Beach Boys CDs. I'll sell you anything. I've got... But I do have the new CD. Also, I've got business cards. I have a QR code in the back that'll take you where you can get my music online. If you don't have a CD player any longer. Anybody still have a CD player out there? Look at y'all. Wow. Okay. Okay, you could use a new CD for your player, so meet me over there. I want to do a few more songs, take a little break, and go over to the merch table and get you to sign my email list, if nothing else. If you're not already on there, please sign up. I'll let you know of new projects, and certainly when I come back to your neck of the woods. Anybody know where Alton, Missouri is? No. It's somewhere in the Ozarks. My mother's from there. I just wondered. Never been there. I got to check it out sometime. Tell your friends in Kansas City I'm heading that way. I'm playing in Olathe Tuesday night at the Olathe Public Library. This is the library tour. So I mentioned that little place, Latour, Missouri, where we lived for a while when I was very young. And I played by myself out there a lot. I developed an overactive imagination, which has got me where I am today. And I used to play out in the fields and down by the river, skip stones, and build little cities out of sticks and stones and mud and stuff. And watch the birds flying over the fields. I was fascinated with the birds and still am. Back then, the hawks were really impressive to me. I'd see them diving like rockets down to the ground. My mother told me one day, well, they're diving down to get a little critter for dinner. I was like, ooh, I guess hawks got to eat too. So this little song came to me on a West Texas highway. Hawkeye, swoop a load of catch 'em up, Hawkeye, before they make the tall grass, Hawkeye, red tail flashing, little critter, better get a move on fast. Blue sky, I can't hide anywhere if I die under the talon. Tell my friends I love them, I never meant to go under. Hawkeye, oh. Hawkeye, heading for the state line, Hawkeye, trooper coming up fast, Hawkeye, red light flashing, chasing down a killer on the overpass. Sunlight, blind my enemy, twilight, hide me in the shadow, moonlight, guide my footsteps, see you on the other side of forever, Hawkeye, oh. Hawkeye, silent as a graveyard. Hawkeye, shadow on the treetop. Hawkeye, the red sun sinking got me thinking I could take my chance. My heart beats banging like a kick drum, cool breeze, singing in the fence line, don't freeze. Out in the open and never look back over your shoulder. Hawkeye, oh. Hawkeye, super loader, catch him up. Hawkeye, before they make the tall grass. Hawkeye, red tail flashing, little critter better get a move on fast, get a move on. Get a move on fast, get a move on. Yeah, little critter better get a move on fast. Thank you. Do one more here for you this set. I'll thank my friend Daniel Cooper for giving me this great Cooper stand. We're not related, so I'm not making any money off of that. So a lot to be thankful for in this life. I know this is crazy, crazy times we're going through, and who knows what lies ahead, really. As a traveling singer-songwriter, for most of my life now, I rely on the kindness of strangers, and I have learned that, kind of like Blanche Dubois, you know, you have to do that. Good people host me as I travel around the country. Every once in a while, I got to spring for a hotel room somewhere, but people understand that it's not a real high-paying job, and the expenses are pretty high with gas and all that stuff. So I've been very fortunate there. I made a lot of good friends that way, and I try to be a good guest. And my mother taught me right. She told me how to clean up after myself and how to do laundry and iron and sew and cook and all that stuff. So I try to do all those things as much as I can as I travel around. But it's funny, once in a while you show up somewhere and these people are putting you up, and you'll get there after a gig late at night and go in their house, and there'll be a little shivering child on the couch, under a little thin blanket. And the parents will say, it's okay, they're asleep. You go back to their room. And so you go back to this little kid's room and you open the door and it's like walking into a seashell or like this little mermaid room, a little pink room with, a pink canopy bed your feet hang off the end of, and or a little boy's bed, with a little race car bed with the Superman sheets and sand in the sheets, that kind of thing. But you got to be grateful for it, because anything beats Motel 6. I'm sorry. It just does. So, I was staying with some friends up in Portland, Oregon, and I was just having a bad time. I'm usually really hyper aware of how fortunate I am to have lived the life I've lived and to still be here able to do it, and it seems kind of miraculous to me, really. But once in a while, like anybody, I feel sorry for myself about one thing or another, and I was having a day like that. I just couldn't get out of it, so I surrendered to it. I said I was going to have a pity party for myself, and I was sitting there in their home there in Portland, Oregon. They were at work. It was a rainy day in Portland, surprise, and I was there with their 3 cats, one that would have nothing to do with me, and I'd gotten to know these cats pretty well, 2 of them anyway. The one cat seriously never would come to me, but so I sat there and I want to make myself a cup of orange pico tea with no sweetener on purpose, just sit there, and I want it to be really bitter when I drink it. And not only that, I'm going to sit here and let it just sit here for a while. Let it steep like, about 20 minutes. Get it really, really strong, really bitter. And then, to my astonishment, I was very pleased to see that the tea bag started disintegrating and the tea leaves are now floating on top of this oily, bitter, tepid water. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to chew on my bitter, tepid tea and look out at the rainy, dismal day and just feel bad about myself. Sounds like fun. So I started in on it, and I just about got that tea all the way down, and the sun, jokester that he is, decided to come out of the clouds. And Portland was transformed into paradise on earth. Hummingbirds started swarming all these feeders that these people put out in their yards. Hundreds of hummingbirds. And, well, you can't look at a hummingbird and feel bad. I said, darn it, I guess I'm just going to have to feel good. So I went out in the backyard, out there in the sun, wet grass, hummingbirds flying all around. I started thinking about all the thousands of people I've met in my life, all the friends I've made. I wrote this song for you. I'll take a break after this song here. Get ready for round 2. 3 cats live in this house. I'm just a guest passing through. They run around all night, sleep away the afternoon. Yeah, one has a zigzaggy tail, and one is as white as a pearl. One only hides, never lets me into her world. I gotta thank you, whoever you are. Thank you for my breaking heart. Thank you for the chance to play my little part. Panther on a windowsill, rabbit in the wet green grass, Rufus and Anna's hearts and wings beating fast. One day I'm filled to the brim, next day the whole thing spills out wide open again. I'm wondering what it's all about. Still I gotta thank you, whoever you are. Thank you for my breaking heart. Thank you for the chance to play my little part. Funny how the clouds pile up when they're only gonna blow away. Funny how each one of us sees a universe in our small way. Hey! Cats squint in the sun, high on a blue window day, grinning and purring like they got something to say. If curiosity kills, I'm dying to know what that means. A life of waiting tills won't fill the yearning in between. Oh, 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 thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this chance to play my little part. All right. Not to be redundant, but thank you. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you over at the merch table. Get ready for round 2 here.
So much time, he ain't even worried yet. The hog of the forsaken, he is the
Alrighty, well, here we go, round two. Thanks for sticking around. I had 2 requests for this song. I'm going to do it anyway. Let me just tune that. That didn't sound quite right. You deserve better than that. So, little song inspired by my mother, Betty Jo. Right before her 90th birthday, I was visiting her at her little place there in Kansas City. And I was on my way down to Austin. I took a kind of a wide detour to go from Nashville up to Kansas City, but I was trying to get up there and see my mother as much as I could, help her with things, and just have the opportunity to see her while I still could. And she's very concerned about what's going to happen for her. You know, she's going to have to leave her home and go into a home somewhere, and she did not want to do that, and ended up she didn't have to. She passed away at home, just fell asleep on the couch with her sketchbook by her side and her glasses on, just kind of went to sleep. Not long after this visit, but I was there talking with her, and went from there down to Austin, Texas to go to Jimmy LaFave's tribute concert. Jimmy was a great songwriter out of Oklahoma, kind of the King of Austin for a long time. He found out he was about to leave the world, so he had a tribute concert for himself. He was going to perform at his own tribute concert, which I thought was kind of cool. And he was there, but he wasn't really able to sing very much anymore, so at the end of the whole concert, and all these folks came out from Austin, the Paramount Theater there, and I'm sitting up in the balcony. He gets up on stage, and his son wheels him out there in his chair and takes the mic away from Christine Albert, and he thanks Austin for, embracing him, and he led us all in a couple of verses of a couple of choruses of Goodnight Irene, the old Lead Belly song. And I sat up there and watched people leaving the theater, all teary-eyed and kind of stunned looking. I walked out in the streets of Austin, wrote this little song. Went back to my mother's house, and I played it for her. She was the first person who heard it. And we're sitting at the old kitchen table, the table we'd had since I was a little boy. I played many a song around that table. And I sang it for her, and I looked up halfway through the song, and she was laughing and crying at the same time. And I thought, well, maybe I did something right. We're all gonna die, nothing to be afraid of. We're all gonna die, just live like you want. Grab a hold of your life, let love surround you, and dance toward the light when the time comes. I cheered for the hero, but he lost the good fight. So I asked my dear mother, do we all have to die? She said, little darling, don't worry your head. Your soul goes on living when your poor body's dead. Yes, we're all gonna die, nothing to be afraid of. We're all gonna die, just live like you want. Grab a hold of your life, let love surround you, and dance toward the light when your time comes. Well, I look at my mother, she's becoming a child. She says, little darling, I believe it's my time to go on ahead. Oh, but don't say goodbye. Just throw me a big party and laugh till you cry. 'Cause we're all gonna cry, nothing to be ashamed of. We've all gotta cry, and heartache and joy. Open your eyes, let life astound you, and dance toward the light when your time comes. wept for the singer as he sang his last song. And one voice together, we all sang along as we walked through the darkness toward an uncertain dawn. In the distance between us, the music plays on. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Oh, we're all gonna die. Nothing to be afraid of. We're all gonna die. Just live like you want. Open your eyes. Let love surround you and dance toward the light when your time comes. Oh, we're all gonna die. Nothing to be afraid of. We're all gonna die. Just live like you want. Open your eyes. Let love surround you and dance toward the light when your time comes. And dance toward the light when your time comes. Yeah, dance toward the light when your time comes. Good night. Thank you. No, I won't leave you with that. That would be terrible. You're welcome. Thanks for asking. Appreciate it. So, well, that threw everything completely off. Hope you're proud of yourself. Oh, it's okay. It's only music. Nobody's going to get hurt, right? Well, I hope I wasn't breaking the knees to you with that song. I remember my mother told me about, I really did have that conversation with her when I was a little kid. I did see the hero die in a movie and asked her. Because she kind of laughed. She was funny, Betty Jo. It's like, of course, we're all going to die. You're going to die, I'm going to die. I wasn't happy about it. I don't know about you. It wasn't her fault. So this is off the new record. This is a song I wrote with a friend of mine, Elva Jones Hahn. She had a beautiful little melody, and we wanted to write a song. We weren't sure what the heck to write about. So when you co-write, you start off just having a conversation about the things that are on your mind and in your heart. And she was talking about addiction and loved ones, and led us to this little song here called Hours for a Little While. This is a great sing-along toward the end here if you are feeling brave. Been on my mind. Every day I think about you countless times. Love, it's funny stuff. As my heart starts feeling tender, things get rough. And everything we think we own is borrowed. This moment is so precious, only ours for a little while. Ours for a little while. Home, you come back home when every dream is spurned and your heart turned to stone. Fire, your life's on fire. You try to burn it out, you keep shining brighter. And everything we think we know is borrowed. These moments are so precious, only ours for a little while. Ours for a little while. Let's make it last Let's make it count. Let's give our love here and now. Years after we're gone, someone like us will fight for love and carry on. Time is but a song. Every note that disappears is never gone. And every song we sing is only borrowed. Each melody so precious, only ours for a little while. 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 Let's make it last. Let's make it count. Let's give our love here and now. Only ours for a little while. Ours for a little while. All righty. So, start of the morning hearing some Buddy Holly songs done by other artists, and it was pretty cool, Beth. I was enjoying that. I'm a real big Buddy Holly fan. Every time I go through Lubbock, Texas, I even if the Buddy Holly Museum is closed, I go by there and just kind of look at the statue across the street, kind of pay homage to Buddy. And here a few years ago, I drove through there and I decided I was going to go to the Holly family plot there in the cemetery there in Lubbock, and I did so. And for some reason, the night before, I was thinking about it. I set aside some time to go by there and just kind of pay my respects. And I wondered if there would be a tree there near their graves. And so happened there was a little tree. Kind of struggling, to live out there. Pretty hard out there for trees in Lubbock, Texas. But it was there, and Buddy's grave is it's modest, just a little flat stone. It's got a little pillar carved into it and a Stratocaster carved into it, leaning against this pillar. And then people had left things like, beads and dried flowers and coins and guitar. I left my guitar pick there. And I went from there out west, and I was out touring the West Coast and went up to Port Townsend and staying at a friend's house up there after playing a concert. And the song kind of followed me around. It actually started, it's called Upside Down Day, and it started at a Trader Joe's. I was checking out like at 7 o'clock at night, and I was buying a dozen eggs, and the young woman checking me out said, "Oh, breakfast for dinner." And I thought, that's kind of funny. And I went out in the parking lot and I started writing a few lines, breakfast for dinner, losers and winners, stuff like that. And then I went and visited Buddy Holly's grave. And then I went out west, and one night I just kind of put it all together in this little song here. There's a great big nod to Buddy in this song. You'll catch it probably. Upside down day, breakfast for dinner. Upside down day, now the loser's a winner. Are you not gonna ask me what I want? Well, I'll tell you anyway. I want the lowly to rise above, and I want hate to turn into love. That's my kind of day, an upside down day. upside down day, shadow to shimmer, upside down day, sinker to swimmer. Don't bother to ask me what I see, you won't believe it anyway. The sky below, the earth above, a death-defying leap of love. Won't that be the day, upside down day? Some fool might tell you that it makes no sense. We're here to turn this dizzy world right on its head, till every frown turns right side up. Each empty heart is filled with love. That's my kind of day, an upside down day. Upside down day, lucky beginner. Upside down day, won't you pity the sinner? No one's gonna tell me what I see when I see it clear as day. The sky below, the earth above, a death-defying leap of love. That'll be the day, upside down day. That'll be the day, our upside down day. Thank you. Upside down day. I'll do another tune I wrote with Kim Carnes is the title song from a CD of mine, Building a Human Being. That ongoing process of trying to live up to our humanity. Rising up out of the mud, building a human being, and we're bound to shed a little blood. Oh, you take some water, add a little dirt, mix them both up till it starts to hurt. Now you got something that might work. Building a human being, we're building a human being. Oh, Father, Father, now I understand. You did your best to be a good man. Mother, Mother, every time you raise your hand, you just trying to lift me up. Building a human being. You're building a human being. They say the apple don't fall far from that tree. You kept your shadow from falling on me. You gave me light, you planted a seed, and you never gave up, you never gave up. Building a human being. Oh, you're rising up out of the mud, building a human being. Yeah, we're bound to shed a little blood. Oh, you take some water, add a little dirt, mix them both up till it starts to hurt. Now you got something that might work. Building a human being. You're building a human being. definition, every woman and man, a contradiction, a wrestling match. Sometimes we stumble and somehow we stand, looking for that perfect plan, building a human being. Yes, we're rising up out of the mud, building a human being. Yeah, we're bound to shed a little blood. Oh, it takes some water, add a little dirt, mix them both up till it starts to hurt. Now you got something that might work. Building a human being. Yeah, building a human being. Building a human being. Building a human being. All righty, thank you, thank you. Do a tune here. Another song from the new CD. This is another co-written song with Kim Ritchie, great singer-songwriter. If you've not heard Kim, you should check her out. Wonderful, wonderful singer, great writer. When I moved to Nashville many years ago, she was one of the first people I kind of looked to there as an example of some of the finest around there. This little song, the melody came to me in Ireland. Brought it back and took it over to Kim's house. I had a couple of lines, and she helped me write this one. It's called "Flower in the Vine." Leaves fall and scatter, it really doesn't matter. Seasons, they come and they go. The bee and the bramble, the melody rambles along to a song that we know. Always hello, never goodbye. Forever our lives are entwined. We turn to the sun, together as one, close as the flower and the vine. Ink on the page eventually fades. Still we each write the book of our days. Miles stretch between us, the years find and leave us. In my eyes, you're always the same. Always hello, never goodbye. Forever our lives are entwined. We turn to the sun, together as one, close as the flower and the vine. Close as the flower and the vine. The light and the stars, the fire in my heart, birds in the sky, the tear in your eye. The moon in the night declares you and I will never part. We'll never part. We turn to the sun, together as one, close as the flower and the vine. Close as the flower and the vine. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, I'd mentioned earlier my life of crime. Between the ages of 11 and 13, I was a juvenile delinquent, and I formed a little gang. My friend Dennis Wright and I, Dennis Wright, he was all wrong. And myself, together we were trouble. We started this little gang of ne'er-do-wells, kids from our school, St. Anne's grade school, the sons of steel workers and oil refinery workers and stockyard workers. And we were kind of unhappy with anybody over the age of 12 was our enemy, really. So we set about to water balloon people and TP their houses and egg them and things like that. We were just a real aggravation. And then we graduated. We started with Black Cat firecrackers and worked our way up to cherry bombs. And that led to the famous cherry bomb incident at the Harry Truman House. And and after that, I started going to the CYO dances, and I met Juanita Cruz at one of the dances. Juanita spoke very little English, and neither did I, so we got along pretty well. And we danced together almost every weekend for about a year. I was crazy about her. But I showed up at a dance one night, and she wasn't there. I saw her the following Christmas at the Macy's store downtown Kansas City. I was down there doing some Christmas shopping, and Kansas City still had a pulse then. There were a lot of people there. Macy's was crowded, and I was on the escalator going down. I looked over on the up escalator, and there went Juanita Cruz. My poor father, he would, sometimes he'd work a double shift at the steel mill, 16 hours. He'd come home, he'd just pass out up in my room. It was the quietest place. And a storm would blow through, and my mother was terrified of tornadoes, so she'd go up there and try to wake him. The Venetian blinds would be blowing horizontally and rattling over him in the bed there. He'd just sound asleep. Sometimes she could rouse him and get him to go out and find me. I'd be off on the highest hill watching the storm come in. I'd see my dad come walking along in his old Holy Work t-shirt and his hair blowing around. You dropped the bomb, you held on to the dollar. Missouri Mule in all your glory. We collided when I threw a cherry bomb. Yelled, "Give him hell, Harry! No time to tarry. The fuse is lit. No stopping it. Incendiary kid. Crazy daddy with his hair all entangled. Tornado blowing through his t-shirt. I'm on that hillside waiting for lightning to strike. Why do I do these things? The sky is lit. I'm defying it. Incendiary kid. Comes Juanita strolling in with her girlfriends. Covey of doves, they floor me. She speaks Spanish, but I kinda comprendo that she likes me. We dance real close, the flame is lit. No denying it. Incendiary kid. In slow motion, I free fall. Hooray, the human cannonball. Man, you think by now I'd lose the fight. Still feel some fire burns through the night. Yes, and even now I feel that child inside. Time blew up, left me in the rubble. I wonder what happened to Juanita. Sometimes I feel like that kid in trouble. I want to blow it all up and start all over. The fuse is lit, no stopping it. Oh, the sky's the limit. Incendiary kid. Thank you. Okay. Right back here. Little song I started over in Sweden, no, Denmark, I'm sorry, an island called Samsa Island. I was at my first songwriting retreat. I'd never done anything like that before, and I was invited to go to this thing, so I went and kind of turned my life around in a lot of ways that week I spent there. My father was very ill back in the States, and I was worried about him. I was worried I wouldn't get home to see him before he left this world. I managed to, though. But I woke up this last morning. Everyone was leaving, and they left me there in the Brunby Rock Hotel by myself. I was there. All the people who worked there were gone as well, and the truckload of 20 or so songwriters was leaving the bus. And I was up in my little third-story room, and I've got these great windows, that open up out of the roofs, and I had that thing open on either side of the roof, and the wind was blowing in from the Baltic Sea, and the sheets were blowing all over the place. And I woke up and I looked out the window, and I could see the little bus down there and everybody getting on it, and I'm yelling out the window and saying goodbye to everyone, and I could see them all looking around, but they couldn't see me. They couldn't tell where it was coming from. And I watched the little bus just drive off down the road, and I had to stay there and wait for my ferry the next morning. And went back to sleep, and the song woke me up. I carried it back to the States. I wrote a verse over there, wrote a verse here, and then I went back again to Sweden, and I finished it up over there. It's called Leave a Little Mark. Pointing your finger at a star, falling far from its home. I know it's hard to find your place in this world. Shine a little sparkly little mark on this world. Light up the darkly little mark on this world. Giving your love, no regret. Giving more than you get. That's what love's for. Don't forget to let go, let go. And shine a little spark, a little mark on this world. Light up the dark, a little mark on this world. Sing it from the heart, really be a part of this world. Carve it on a rock, paint it on a page. Don't watch that clock, forget about the grave. There is no tomorrow. You own today, stand up and give it away. Leave a little mark. Leave a little mark. Drawing your finger through the sand in a land far from home. This is your chance to leave a trace in this world. Shine a little spark. Light up the dark. Oh, sing it. Sing it from the heart. Leave a little mark. Pointing your finger at the star, falling far from its home. I know it's hard to find your place in this world. All righty, thank you. Yeah. Do a couple more songs for you here. Looks like we're, oh yeah. We're 2 minutes from 4. Is it okay if I do another tune? Is that good? We run a little over. Nobody will get hurt. Okay, that's good. Sabotaging myself here. I see what I'm doing. Good thing I figured that out. Okay. There we go. So I'm actually going to do a couple of tunes here strung together for you. One I didn't write, written by a guy named Dino Valenti. Dino Valenti's real name was Chester Powers Jr. Why would change your name from Chester to Dino, I don't know, but he was born into a family of circus performers. Became a songwriter at a very young age. This song was first recorded by the Kingston Trio in 1964. Nothing much really happened with it. A group called We Five recorded it, not much happened, and then the Youngbloods did it. And everybody thinks that Jesse Colin Young wrote it, but he didn't. Dino Valenti did, Chester Powers Jr. Dino spent his life in and out of mental institutions and jail, eventually prison for being a drug addict. That's where we put our drug addicts. In prison where they can get all the drugs they want, learn how to be a criminal. He did get out, though. He had a few good years of life. At the end of his life, I'd read. He left us this lovely song, which is perhaps more pertinent than ever. It's a hard thing to love people you don't like. Sometimes we have to figure out how to do that. Love is but a song we sing, fear the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, make the angels cry. And though the dove is on the wing, we may not know why. Come on, people, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you'll understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both, it's there at your command. Come on, people, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. We will come and we will go, we will surely pass. When the one who loved us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading on the grass. Come on, people, smile on your brother. Everybody get together and try to love one another right now. Come on, people, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Try to love one another right now. Try to love one another. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Do one more tune for you. This is about an old fellow I knew. He lived to be over 100 years old. He was a lovely old guy. He was the grandfather of a girl I dated that we argued every day. Not all day, just at least once or twice a day, over things that really didn't matter. But her grandfather and I always got along quite well. When he was a young man, he had traveled around during the Great Depression. He traveled around the Midwest selling stuff when he could, and just working for food, a place to stay. Sometimes people would barter with him and give him something he could turn around and sell on down the road, and he just kind of eked out a living. And kind of remind me of the life of a traveling singer-songwriter in a lot of ways. Wrote this song for him when he passed away. His name was Roy, and his family nicknamed him Man Daddy. Summer is coming, the catfish are jumping, willows are weeping up the river. Man Daddy's wagon comes rattling and dragging his magical load, bringing ghost stories and bright penny whistles, while Chinese missiles and tunes of glory look on the horizon and see the dust rolling down that road. Well, my name is Man Daddy, and I roam these hills. I'll sing and I'll whistle and I'll cure your ills. Oh Man Daddy, come to cure your ills. Man Daddy, come to cure your ills. He walks like a farmer, he talks like warm water, smells like tobacco and gunpowder. Bringing red garters, bright copper kettles, brown leather shoes. He says, I remember when your folks were young'uns, laughing and running in Indian summer. It was that horizon and see the dust rolling down that road. Well, my name is Man Daddy, and I roll these hills. I'll sing and I'll whistle and I'll cure your ills. Oh, Man Daddy, come to cure your ills. Man Daddy, come to cure your ills. Everything changes, that's only natural. Nothing remains as it once started. This time next summer, I may not be here. Hear what I say. Children, I love you. You make life worth living. The river's worth crossing and the gifts worth giving. Look on the horizon and see the dust rolling down that road. Well, my name is Man Daddy, and I roam these hills. I'll sing and whistle and I'll cure your ills. Oh, Man Daddy, come to cure your ills. Man Daddy, come to cure your ills. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for coming out. All right.